Shalom. First off, I'd like to give all praise to Kal Halal, YAHAWASHI, Bahashim, Rakwakwadush. Double honors to the apostles of GMS. Double honors to the Connecticut elders of GMS, our big brothers. Greetings and salutations to the brothers in this country and all over the world who are prophesying in the true name of what you people stupidly and ignorantly call God in Christ. The true name is YAHAWASHI, which is none other than the power of the nation of Israel, which consists of you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, and anybody who are descendants from those people on their father's side. Shalom to those who are scattered abroad. I am your Ikwab. All right, coming at you with a show. Not going to be long, Lord willing, entitled Focus on the Kingdom to Come. Okay, focus on the kingdom to come. All right, and basically I'm just going to go to 2nd Ezra, the 7th chapter. All right, and 2nd Ezra is one of my favorite books. It goes into it's like I'm talking low because it's like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. So Ezra, he basically was talking back to an angel, Raphael. He even communed or talked to the Lord himself, the Most High. And basically Ezra's just going back and forth trying to inquire about Jake's condition. Why are we going through hell? Why did you create sin, Lord? If you want us to be perfect, and if we're the chosen one, why do we see the light of day as far as us being your chosen people? Why are you destroying us? So it was just a back and forth, and then the Most High would have to send an angel or Raphael to explain certain things to him. But every time Ezra had a question or he was going to get revealed something, he would have to fast 7 days at a time. So anyway, I was reading chapter 7 yesterday, 2 days ago, and then I thought I'd do a quick video on it. All right, so I'm just going to start because why it's relevant to this time. You can't concentrate on the hell you're going through now in your life and what's, your present life. You got to focus on the kingdom to come, and we know it's coming. Who's coming? When we focus on the kingdom, we're focused on YAHAWASHI, sent from the Most High, Yahweh. All right, that's to come. Salvation is coming. The elect to be saved is coming. All right, and the 1/3. So that's what we should be focused on. We should be focused on getting Esau, the nation of Edom, into slavery. Right, the other nations into slavery. We should be focused on the destruction of America, which is prophesied in Holy Scriptures in the Bible. Right, America is known as Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots, Mystery Babylon, the Roman Empire reincarnated. Greek also, Babylonians also. All these kingdoms in one. So we should be focused on this downfall of America, man, which is inevitable, by the way. The kingdom of heaven on earth with the Lord coming back is inevitable, which means it's definitely, you can bet the universe on it that it's going to happen, and it's going to happen soon. All right, anyway, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 7, verse 1. I'm going to go to verse 16. It reads, "And when I had made an end of speaking these words, there was sent unto me the angel which had been sent unto me nights afore. It says, and he said unto me, Up, Ezra, and hear the words that I come to tell thee. And I said, Speak on, my power. Then said he unto me, The sea is set in a wide place, that it might be deep and great. But put the case the entrance were narrow and a like river. Who then could go into the sea to look upon it and to rule over it? If he went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad? So right there, the angel's revealing unto Ezra, which he was trying to defend Israel once again. Saying, hey, behold, heathen which have, speaking up for why the heathens, why'd you allow the heathens to overtake us, Lord? Things of that nature. Why are we not ruling? You called us a God, chose a people, we're still on the bottom. But then here's what the angel said. Basically, that last sentence is that who then could go into the sea? No, but put the entrance were narrow and like a river. Who then could go into the sea to look upon it and to rule it? If he went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad? And that's self-explanatory, meaning a sea is a great sea. All great seas are the ocean. That water comes from somewhere. It comes from small rivers and streams, right? And small rivers and streams are narrow, And you learn that in geology class in 6th grade or even younger, geography class, where you have rivers. All rivers and streams lead into the ocean. So the angel's saying, how could a man go to a sea if he doesn't go through the narrow part first? So the analogy is with this truth. You got to go through the straits before you get to the kingdom. We got to go through this hell before we get to the kingdom. That's the point. It says, again, it says, who then could go into the sea to look upon it and to rule it? If he went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad? There is also another thing. A city is build it, and set upon a broad field, and is full of all good things. The entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if they were a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deeper water, right? And one only had between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could not but one man go there at once. All right, the next self-explanatory, you have a home and a big, how to describe it? Okay, basically you have a big open home, a space. Okay, and I don't know, see why I'm not seeing the word to describe it. Okay, yeah, city. Okay, you have a big city slot. Well, city's a home, but a city, and to get to the city, to get to that way, there's paths, with water on one side and fire on the other, and you gotta walk that path to get to this great city. So this is again another analogy of the men of the nation of Israel. Furthermore, the men of the Lord, we got to go through the straight paths to get to the kingdom. And straight paths is really following all the laws, statutes, commandments in these human bodies, which is damn near impossible. Keeping all the holy days, things of that nature. Going against the ways of America. Following the Lord, the law, statutes, commandments of the Holy Father, because this world tells you something different. They'll go, everything they set up in society is against the Bible, against the scriptures. So if you have a society and overall your flesh is designed against the spirit. The flesh against the spirit against the flesh. So it's very tough to be in this truth, and it's for when to walk in these ways. Not everybody can handle it, but the men of the Lord can. It said, and one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could not but one man go there at once. If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass, there were dangers set before it. how shall he receive his inheritance? Okay, that's self-explanatory, same thing. Okay, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how can he shall receive this entrance? Yeah, so how can somebody go into the city that this angel just described, but he didn't go through the dangers of him trying to get to the kingdom by walking that real narrow path that only one man could walk on, by the way, and if he didn't walk through that narrow path, right? Just imagine there's a great city you got to get to, full of everything you want, but to get there, maybe there's a mile long road, a mile long bridge, which is maybe 3 feet wide across, and maybe a mile long, and you got to walk that thing one at a time. You know what I mean, to make it to that promised land. So that's what an angel is giving a great analogy of what the kingdom represents, man. And I said, it is so, Lord. Then said unto me, even so also is Israel portion, because for their sakes I made the world. Right? When Adam transgressed my statutes. Okay. Read that again. And I said, it is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion. See? So that's our portion, is to go through this hell, is to go through the narrow path before we get to the broad stream. To walk that narrow stream to get to the broad stream. To walk that narrow path to get to the big city. To go through trouble and to receive peace. This is what the kingdom is, and we're at that. That's what you gotta focus on, and that's what keeps us going. It says, because for their sakes I made the world, and when Adam transgressed my statutes, and how did Adam transgress? He listened to his woman. Then was decreed that now is done. Yeah, because now, before that time, they were perfect. They weren't dying. But once Adam accepted that philosophy, death came into the world. All right. It says, then were the entrances of this world, Salah, because for their sakes I made the world, and when Adam transgressed my statutes, then was decreed that now is done, which is the martial law and whatever. Then were the entrances of this world made narrow, full of sorrow and travail. There are but few and evil, full of perils and very painful. Really describing the attributes of the people on earth. Okay. It says, for the entrance of the elder world were wide and sure and brought immortal fruit. Yeah, because before Adam listened to his woman, everybody was living perfectly, living perfectly. The Adamites, now he didn't get to literally fulfill a new life, so to speak. But as far as living forever, but he listened to Eve and committed sin, and that's when death came into the world. Okay, so because for their sakes I made the world, and when Adam transgressed my statutes, then it was decreed that now is done, meaning death, sinning, right? It's because sin, just wages of sin is death. So we came to new sin by what that foreign philosophy that Eve brought in, that Adam hearkened onto. It said, known by life and death. For the entrances of the elder world were wide and sure, and brought immortal fruit. If then they that live labor not to enter these straight, and it's late, forgive me. If then they that live labor not to enter these straight, let me read verse 13. For the entrances of the elder world were wide and sure, and brought immortal fruit. Okay, and meaning forever. If then they that live labor not to enter these straight and vain things, they can never receive those that are laid up for them. Okay, that's clear, man. Meaning, if it says, if then they that live labor not to enter these straight and vain things, meaning anybody who's in this world, as far as an Israelite, if you're not following the ways, statutes, commandments, the Lord's not hearing you, man. It says, all right, And basically, you don't want to invite straight in your life, straightness, which means a position of difficulty. They don't want any difficulty of their life, you know? Right? If then they that live labor not to enter these straight and vain things, they can never receive those that are laid up for them, right? Which is what the kingdom. Now, therefore, say disquietest thou thyself, seeing thou art but a corruptible man, and why art thou moved, whereas thou art but mortal? And it says, why hast thou not considered in thy mind this thing that is to come, rather than that which is present? Now that's the point, verse 16. Why hast thou not considered in thy mind this thing that is to come, rather than that which is present? And that's the point of the show, right? 15 minutes and really 16 minutes and just goes saying that, you know, why are we considering the trouble that we're going through now? Why are we considering the coronavirus and you know, if how I'm going to protect my family for taking a chip and which is a righteous, you know, it's a good thing to think about these things. But really, we're thinking about the prophecies. We're thinking about the Lord coming back. We're thinking about the kingdom of heaven coming to earth. That's what we all should be focusing on, you know, which is prophecy. Okay, which is prophecy. The Lord bringing the kingdom on earth is prophecy, man. It says, now therefore, why disquietest thou thyself, seeing thou art but a corruptible man? And why art thou moved, whereas thou art but mortal? Verily, hast thou not considered in thy mind this thing that is to come, rather than that which is present? Okay. We don't focus on the present times. Focus on the things to come. Now, you're supposed to be focused on the signs of the coming of the Lord. But our mind is in the future, man. Our mind is of the kingdom of heaven, man. We don't care about this fucking world because we know this place is over. It's done. Esau's finished, man. He's in the time of Revelation 12:12, but he don't know it. It says, then answered I and said, O Lord, that bearest rule, thou hast ordained thy law, that the righteous should inherit these things, but that the ungodly should perish. Nevertheless, the righteous shall suffer great string things, and hope for wide. For they that have done wickedly have suffered straight things, and yet shall not see the wide. Right? Yeah. So if you were just lollygagging all your life in this truth, and you didn't do anything, then you're not going to see the kingdom of heaven, man. But only in the reincarnation, and that's the majority of you Jakes out there. You didn't choose to walk the straight gate of YAHAWASHI by following his laws, statutes, commandments. By going out there and prophesying. There's a whole host. It says, and Ezra says, for there be many that perish in this life because they despise the law of the Most High that is set before them. For the Most High hath given a straight commandment to each such as come. It says what they should do to live, and even as they came, and what they should preserve to avoid punishment. Nevertheless, they were not obedient unto him. Okay, Jacob was an obedient. You didn't obey the Most High. So you about to get all hell breaking to you right now, man. It says, but spake against him and imagined the main things, and deceived themselves by their wicked deeds, and said of the Most High that he is not. He knew not his ways, but his law have they despised, and they denied his covenants, and his statutes have they not been faithful, and have not performed his works. But that was it for the show. I'll stop on that. But just to go again on point, verse 16. Why hast thou not considered in thy mind this thing that is to come, rather than which is present? And that's true. It's all about the men of the Lord, the elect men. We're foreseeing the future, man. We're seers. And what we see is America clearly going down. But the slander that this so-called white man nation of Edom was making against the nation of Israel, about who we are, about who we serve, about what we represent. Fact of the matter is, you're the damn devil of the nation of Edom, starting with your Rothschilds, Rockefellers, DuPonts, Dewberries, 1% families. And you're the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning that followeth. So we're good, man. And you know we're gonna come out, you're gonna come out to us, our families, things of that nature. But we know what the future entails for you. And we know that Lord YAHAWASHI and the angels are coming back for you. And this is going to must be a terrifying experience of your whole existence. And we come into the most historical times in the universe's history. It's a great thing. It's going to be celebrated. Lord YAHAWASHI is coming back for his people, man, and the elect. So with that, again, don't focus on these present times, man. Just ride in the faith, go on, and honor the apostles, honor the elders, do the work of the Lord, come out to camp. Just keep going, man. All right? Don't worry about nothing else. Why? Because we see the kingdom coming. And with that, a little tired, salak. Lord willing, I'll see you tomorrow in the next show. Kala halal, YAHAWASHI, or SHABASHI, or Kwakadash, Tamar, see the elders of Great Millstone, and Apostle Great Millstone. Hey, I'm falling asleep, man. It's like, and honors to the connect the elders, and shalom to you brothers in the country and all over the world. Shalom.